real.
Movie.
Great. Let's get started.
I do not listen to Ed Sheeran's music.
Okay. Is it because he has red hair?
I just hate redheads. No, I don't listen to his music at all. I kind of know what he looks like.
Okay.
And he acted on Game of Thrones, right?
I think...
But people mock that.
Yeah, I think he was just sitting around a campfire singing. That was his
All right, so what's in the news with Ed Sheeran right now?
Ed Sheeran may star in a Beatles-themed musical comedy directed by Danny Boyle.
What? This is a lot of names that shouldn't be all tied together.
So apparently, and he will also write his own original music for this.
Okay, great.
But apparently, the Ed Sheeran character, if he ends up playing this character, wakes up one day and he's the only one who remembers the Beatles music. It's like it never happened, except for him. He remembers it.
Danny Boyle, what happened to you? You used to be so edgy. You used to be so cool. You made all these like gritty-looking zombie films that were great. Sunshine is still one of my favorites. Train Spotting. Like, what happened to you, man? What are you doing? Although, the premise of this movie's kind of cool. I'm not like against that. Like, do you actually like? Because now I'm like kind of playing it out in my head, and I'm like, okay.
I have a lot of questions. There's still Beatles alive. Did they not remember how they got all their money?
Yeah, so I'm guessing you just... this is kind of a weird premise, but let's just say the Beatles never happened, but somebody knows the Beatles happened.
Just one person.
So it's kind of interesting to think, like, all right, so if this guy could recreate their music and replay their music, would it still have its same kind of impact? There's some cool things going on here. I'm kind of okay with this. Why does Ed Sheeran have his own original music in it, though?
Exactly.
Shouldn't the focus of the music just be on the Beatles' music?
Is it him stealing the Beatles' music, but in his own Ed Sheeran way?
Does this mean we're just going to get crappy covers? I'm, like, dissing Ed Sheeran. I really don't know his music. So I'm assuming it sucks. And he's just going to butcher a bunch of Beatles songs. Because I'm going to guess that most... this is such a tricky thing because I kind of like am okay with the idea of this movie. Like the concept of the movie doesn't bother me. I don't know if I like a pop star now being the voice of the Beatles. That's I think the part that's kind of going like I don't know if I just want Ed Sheeran covers of the Beatles because again I don't know his music, but I feel like I'm not going to like that.
If you turn a radio on, any radio, any station, and give it 45 minutes, you'll hear an Ed Sheeran
I listen to NPR. I don't think he comes up on NPR a whole lot.
Probably not.
I'm sure I have probably heard his music. I just don't know that I'm listening to it. I'm sure that's probably been the case.
Yeah.
So it's really hard for me to say, like, yes, I could hear this guy, with the Beatles. Yeah, but you're making a face like you know that's the wrong way.
I don't know.
And either way, why is Danny Boyle doing this?
That's a good question.
There's a lot of weird things going on here. I've got a lot of conflicting emotions in this one.
He's going to go from doing James Bond to Ed Sheeran singing the Beatles.
Yeah, that sounds like the James Bond thing's still happening with Danny Boyle. Well, what's going on with you, Danny? Are you looking for some money? What happened to you, man?
It's all about that broccoli money.
Yeah, you and the broccoli stuff. I forgot about this whole broccoli James Bond thing. I didn't know that was a thing either.
Yeah, the Broccoli family. That's their legitimate last name.
Which is just anytime you're calling somebody the Broccoli family, it sounds like a joke. It doesn't sound like anybody's really the Broccoli's.
However, if anyone owns James Bond as the character, of course their name's Broccoli.
Of course.
That sounds like
I would assume
billionaire.
I would assume it would be something far more British sounding. But if we're going to own James Bond, having a ridiculous last name also makes sense.
Rupert Broccoli.
Exactly. Their first names are Theodore Broccoli.